Hello, friends at Hollydale Sun. I'm Miss Jules. I am back for week 3 of Nature and Me class. Today, I'm so excited to talk to all of you about what all of your teachers at Sun are talking about this week, and that is Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year. This is a big celebration celebrated in China. Um, every year, it's even bigger than what we celebrate our New Year, like here in the United States. So this year, Lunar New Year starts on February 12th, which is a Friday. And traditionally in Chinese culture, there are big parties and celebrations for the first week of the new year. And the biggest party takes place on the night before the very first day. So if it's on the 12th, like this year, they would have a huge celebration on the night of the 11th. Now there are fireworks, decorations, big, beautiful red dragons in parades, and they use the color red to decorate a lot of things, which symbolizes joy and happiness. And what a lot of people find so interesting about Lunar New Year is that each year is represented by a different animal, and there are um, 12 different animals in the Chinese zodiac, and this year it is the year of the ox. So we're going to talk a lot about what that means and what that represents for the year we're about to celebrate, being the year of the ox. I have a lot of stuff I want to get through today with all of you, including a little craft, a worksheet we're going to fill out, and I have a short story video to share with you. So, as we get started, or before we get started, I should say, I just wanted to briefly talk about maybe why we, your teachers at Sun, think that it's important to talk about these celebrations that other cultures have throughout the year. And there are a lot of different reasons, but one of the big ones is that there are so many different cultures and so many people in our world, and everyone has unique celebrations and things that are important to them in their lives. And even if we don't celebrate or do the same things in our culture or in the country or the place that we live, knowing what's important to other people and special to other people is a great way to get to know them, maybe understand the things that are important to them, why they're important, maybe what about their culture or their life or their time with their family, how that makes them think and act and how it makes them unique and different to us, but also how it makes them similar to us. So there are so many great ways or so many great reasons why we study other people's cultures. When we can understand um, what other people experience in their cultures, we can make connections and deeper connections. You know, when you first meet a friend and you learn more and more about them, and as you learn more and more, you get closer and closer together and become even better friends. It's very similar. The more we learn about other people, the closer we can be to them, the more we learn from them, the more we can teach them. And it just is awesome for everybody. So that's why we really wanted to talk about Lunar New Year this year so that you all can have a chance to get to know something about this culture in China. And now there's not just one culture in China, it's a huge place. So there are all sorts of different small cultures. But Lunar New Year is pretty much celebrated throughout all of China. So that's just what we're focusing on. And to kind of talk about nature and me and how that comes into these celebrations, I want to focus specifically and talk to you all about the year of the ox. That is the year that we are in, that we would be celebrating if we are celebrating the New Year. So I would love if from your kits that you've gotten this last week, if you can pull out your paper packet that looks like this. You'll see it has a brown piece of paper and some red strings hanging on here. You can set that right down next to you. And first, what I'm going to do is show you a little video about an ox, and I want you to relax, listen, and then we'll talk about maybe what we think about that ox when we're done. So make sure I can share my screen. Okay, here we go.
There once was a kind ox who met a boy and a girl by the river. Please help. We want to cross the river, but we can't swim, cried the children. Don't worry, you can ride on my back. I can take you across the river, said the ox. Thank you, kind ox. Finally, they reached the other side. There is our home. Let us show you around, the children chirped. They were walking around the town when suddenly, Help, help! My cart is stuck in the mud, cried an old man. Let me help, said the ox. He pushed and he pushed and he pushed the cart, but it did not budge. But Mr. Ox, he kept trying and he never gave up. He used all his strength and finally he pushed the cart out of the mud. The old man was very pleased. Thank you for helping me. Here are some berries for you. And he thanked the ox. That day, the ox was very happy. He made some new friends. He ate lots of berries until he was really, really full. And he slept soundly under his favourite peach tree.
Ooh, I really like that story, and I'm so glad we got to share it with you. My favorite thing about that story is how peaceful and calm it makes me feel. When I think about that ox, I think about how kind he is and how strong he is and happy to help, how reliable he is. Reliable, that's the word I'm going to talk to you all about in this video as well. Okay, now you might notice, Miss Jules, myself, I am in a different spot than I normally am in when I make these videos for you all. I'm normally in my little office in my house, but because it is snowing outside, that office is extremely, extremely cold. So, in order not to freeze my little toes and fingers off, I am in a different room in my house. So, here, and I'm hoping you'll still be able to see everything pretty well, even though I work from my desk. Okay, well, that's how it goes these days. We all have to make adjustments and changes when we are in our houses, in our schools, or at our workplaces, and all of that. Okay, now you should have this pocket like I asked you. You can go ahead and pull your screws out, pull them down. You can pull your paper clip off, and you're only going to need your first 2 pages and your brown paper. These other like 4 papers you can set aside. Don't lose them because you're going to want them next week for our next me class. You might want to put them in your folder, your new folder that you got in your first kit, so you don't lose track of them. So let's start with our worksheet, and then we'll move on to our class. So on our worksheet, it says, according to the Chinese zodiac, the ox represents being strong, reliable, fair, calm, patient, trustworthy, and resilient. There are a lot of these different words that you might not be familiar with, you may not have heard before. So if you follow, I'm in the mood for this color. If you go down on your worksheet to the second part of it, right right underneath this little empty chart here, you will see that I have written each of those words and what they mean. So we'll start with reliable. What does reliable mean? Reliable means that your friends and family can count on you. You're there for them when they need you. You know they can rely on you, which is a trait or something about your personality that's similar to the ox. And like I said, this year within the Chinese zodiac for Lunar New Year, it's the year of the ox. What about the word fair? You make sure people are being treated equally and fairly. Now, a lot of you probably know that word. You might have um, had a moment in your life before where you thought, hey, that's not very fair. Or maybe, I wish this game was more fair. Another word, another trait of the ox is patient. You're good at waiting your turn or waiting for something or someone. You have might be hard for you to be patient. I know it's hard for me to be patient when I have cookies in the oven and I'm waiting to eat them. Or maybe you're someone who is pretty patient and has a pretty easy time waiting for stuff. The next word you have is trustworthy. People trust you. They feel comfortable sharing with you, talking with you, telling you different things. And the next word is resilient. This is a really good word. Resilient is when things are hard or something goes wrong. You know that you will be okay. You can keep trying and not give up. So when you're resilient, it means that you're good at being able to remind yourself, okay, I'm going to be okay. I got this. I can keep going. That doesn't mean that you can't feel sad or upset or frustrated when things go wrong. This means that you're good at remembering to keep looking forward and keep pushing forward. But it's totally okay to still have all kinds of feelings that you have when something doesn't work out the way that you want it. Now, the last word, which is here, that's up here, is the word strong. Now, there's many different kinds of strong. We think of strong like an ox, like you have big muscles or you're really good at lifting heavy things. Or you could think, I'm really strong in the way of, I'm really good at being a strong friend that my friends can rely on. Or I'm really strong at math. So I'm going to let you choose whatever you want for the word strong to mean to you. Now, back to our worksheet. It says, choose 3 of the traits listed above and describe how you know you have those traits. Remember, traits kind of like parts of our personality or parts of us. If you need help remembering what these words mean, look at the definitions below. Again, that's down here. Now, in this chart, it says, my traits like the ox are, and you get to pick 3 of these words that you talked about that you feel like fit you. I think I am going to choose. I think I am reliable. I know that my friends know they can count on me and I will be there. And then on this side, it says, because. So my traits like the ox are reliable because my friends can count on me. I would say another trait I have like the ox is that I am trustworthy because people share with me, or maybe I should say share things that are important to them with me and trust me. You could even write a specific example like my trait like an ox is that I'm trustworthy. I know because a friend told me a secret and I was able to keep it. Lastly, I'm going to choose the word fair. And that's because I'm good making sure everyone is heard and listened to. I want to make sure things are fair for them. So my traits like the ox are reliable, trustworthy, and fair. And then I've written down why that is. I know it's a little hard for you all to see. Here's the worksheet. Here are my answers and the words below. Now you also are going to do the same things with your worksheet. You can pick any of them. If you have another word that you think is probably something that the ox would have, write it down. It's your paper. You get to do exactly what you want with this. Now, the second thing I want to show you, which is going to be so fun, is this ox craft. If you did the fun program this fall before Christmas, you made a lantern with that. Now we're going to make another lantern. This time, one shaped like an ox. So, what you're going to do is start by cutting out the pieces. Each one is marked with what they are. Right now, I'm cutting out. Now, you could technically do this craft in any order you want. I will show you the order I'm going to do. And remember, nothing has to be perfect. You don't have to make it any specific way. You can even make your own kind of box if you think, Miss Jules, I'm really not sure this much. I think I gotta do something that I like. That's totally okay with me. I just want you to have fun making this craft. All right. Now I'm cutting out the ears. Hope you all are thinking about the ox in the new year and what that means to you. I wonder if any of you celebrate the New Year. If you do, I would love to hear about it. You can always write a comment below. All right, so I'm cutting out the horns. Oh man, I can't wait to see this ox when it's all finished. Right now, while I'm working on this project, it is snowing outside. And I am hoping to wake up to a lot more in the morning. Okay, got my horns cut out. Lots to cut out. You need to take a little break and your hand to break. Definitely. You can be following along with this craft, or you can do it another time on your own, or you can come back and watch this video when you're ready to do your craft. Charm. All right, I took also on this paper you have directions right here that help remind you how to make this lantern. Some people find it easier to read the directions. Some people find it easier to listen to directions or watch what's happening while it's happening. I'm going, before I cut my two eyes separately, I'm going to kind of cut them so that they stay together like this. It might be easier for me to glue them. All right, I'm going to put my scraps here to the side before I recycle them. And here's my brown paper. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your paper, what we call hot nose style, go a long way, and fold it in half. It does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be exact. Now, going to do what we did with the last lantern, which is cut a bunch of strips about to here. Not all the way to the end because that would cut them off completely. And do them smaller or bigger than I am doing. Totally up to you. Now, when you unfold it, it should look like this. Now what we're going to do, do it to you, is kind of roll it over and match up your two sides like this. Now, if you have tape, you can tape it up at the top and bottom. I am going to use my stapler. I like to make sure it's on there really nice and tight. So I stapled it right here. And I'll do the same thing on this side. This side. Now, I'm going to have more of a lantern like that. Now, we need all of our pieces from before. We have our handle. A little bit. See. Now, oh, you know what? I forgot one. We printed these on pretty dark paper, but you can color this any color you want. So you can brown over it, or I think what I'm going to do is do a little bit of brown on my ox's eyes. Kind of a yellowish, orangish brown. You can color any of the pieces that you want, whatever color you think the ox would look good. I might fill in, since we know that red is a color of the symbol of joy and happiness in Chinese culture, and for Lunar New Year, I'm going to make some red parts as well. And don't forget about your strings set aside. Well, okay, before I go over the handle, you can color the white side, you can color the gray side. I'm going to leave the gray side out. I'm going to staple it again. Don't forget to ask for help if you're going to staple any of these. And you're not sure you can do it yourself without getting your fingers. Now my handle is on. Let my lantern can hang if I want it to. Now it's time to do my ox's face. I think I want my ox's nose over here. Now, another option you have, of course, is glue. And that's probably going to be your best option if you don't really want to see what you're using to get all your pieces. My eyes. Pretty tricky. Right there. Now, I'll put my ears. Remember, you can make your ox look however you like. I'm going to put my ears here on the sides. So it kind of looks like that. And my horns, which I want to leave white, I'm going to put, it might also help to look up a picture of an ox. Let's see. How should Miss Jules do this? It might even take a couple tries. But don't forget, One of the traits of the ox is resilience, or trying and trying again. So, if you're having a hard time, just think of it that way. You're practicing to be an ox. Oops, that one might fall. I should probably make that a little safer. All right, my ox has his horns now. Yeah. We have another last part to this. What I want you to do is unbend your paper clip either side, or even safer, if you have a hole puncher, you can use a hole punch. Actually, you know what? I thought of an even safer way to do this. Okay, you're going to take one of your strings, you're going to tip your lantern so you can see. You're going to slip your string through one of your slits and tie it as best as you can. I think you're going to need something strong, like a knot. You could staple it, you could try to tape it, you could even glue it. Now I'm going to make another one over on this side. Just like that. Now I have two of them hanging down. You can cut off the extra if you don't like it. Now you can use a hole punch and glue. You could staple, you could tape, you could do almost anything. I'm going to staple my nose so I want to make sure it stays. These are supposed to be like medallions, cool metal red celebratory parts holiday. Now your little medallions will hang down like this. You could even draw them up if you wanted to. And so your lantern going to look like this little ox with little medallions. You could even cut your red strings into smaller pieces and make more things to hang off of it. And you put it over a light of some sort, it will shine through your ox's face. You could also put a battery operated candle, something that wouldn't have any sort of fire risk, or even a flashlight inside your ox to have a light shine through, like a little Chinese lantern. You can hang it, you can set it down on something, totally up to you. This is your choice, your Lunar New Year craft. You get to do whatever you would like. I hope that you really like that craft. I had so much fun with it. I can't wait to hang it up somewhere in my house to remind me of the year of the ox, and then it's a good year to remember to try to be reliable and trustworthy, fair and strong, resilient, calm and patient. These are all super good reminders and super good things we can always keep trying at. It's okay if we're not perfect. It's just important to try. All right, that's all I have for you for this week for Nature and Me. I hope you enjoyed it. Come back next week. We're going to be talking about friendships and how to make them stronger, how we can grow our friendships just like we grow a garden. And don't forget to write a comment or have your parent or an adult that you know write a comment comment to me and all your teachers here at Sun. I want to hear if you like your craft. I want to see pictures of your ox lanterns. I would love to see what words you chose on your worksheet. Anything you want to share. I want to see it and I want to hear it. So don't forget, every time you comment or like, you get your name put into a drawing and you could win a Sun goodie bag, and there's really fun stuff in there. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next week for another class on Nature and Me. Bye.